I'm here at the Holistic Veterinary Center with my dog Mooshka. Mooshie is 11 years old. She's a Chow Shepherd mix, and she has hip dysplasia, which is a degenerative problem in the hips. They're actually born with it and genetically predisposed, and it's causing a lot of problems. It can actually shorten a dog's life. Here at the center, we're going to do a lot of things today where we're hoping to extend her life and extend the quality of her life. And we're going to meet up with my good friend, Dr. Tinaway, and she's going to take Mooshka through her paces. All right. Ready for your therapy, Mooshie? Yay, Mooshka.
How's she been doing?
She has good days and bad days.
Okay. Well, the good news about the treadmill is the buoyancy of the water will help her support that weight, and then they can move freely. The treadmill will increase their range of motion by 30%, and it also builds muscle quicker because it's 20 times the resistance of air. So
wow.
I love the treadmill for that. It really helps a lot of dogs build that strength. Ready, Mooshka? Good job.
As the water height goes higher, then she'll be more buoyant and she'll actually get more range of motion out of her hips.
She already is walking straighter. One of the effects of being in the water, she doesn't have that incredible wiggle in her hips.
Right, yeah.
See?
Good girl.
Good Mooshie.
Right, Mooshka.
Yeah, that's a girl.
It's just unbelievable how much strength they gain in just a small amount of time. So you can really see it on a side view that she doesn't really bring it that right hind forward as much as she does the left. You see there's a difference. It's right there.
All I can think is how adorable she looks right now, and I know she hates me for that. You know, as someone who's been doing this work for a long time, is there kind of recovery / lengthening of life that you've seen?
I think any aerobic activity, they always say when you exercise with your dog 20 minutes a day of walking or cardio, that they do live longer. I mean, exercise is such an important thing. I remember her when she walked in and she could barely could do this continuous walking just for a few minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, her strength is just, it's come such a long way from those early days.
Want some water? Come on, drink some water.
I like the way that she's standing right now. She's standing nice and square and even. She's not shuffling around on her feet. Her back is nice and straight. And some of our older dogs, that's what they'll do. They'll just kind of sag in the back. And you can tell those early sessions is normally what I see. They shuffle around. They're just not quite strong enough yet. All right, Mooshka, round 2.
Here we go.
Let's go.
All right, let's get physical. Oh, those legs are so cute. I can't stand it.
So I see a short step in the back, and I'm just going to stop it right there.
Yay, Mooshka.
Yay, good girl.
Shake off right on Dad.
Yeah, do it. Bring it.
Good girl, Mooshki.
Yay, Mooshie. Good girl. So, we're about to go from here to have some laser treatment. Mooshka is only 1/3 of the way done her day here. We're going to do some laser, then some acupuncture. In the meantime, there's a lot of cool stuff that happens here, and I want to show you some of it. We're going to first meet a cat named Leland, who is getting acupuncture today. Hello. So who do we have here?
This is my friend Leland and Dr. Kelly Witrovsky.
Hello.
Who came to me a while back with Leland for some hind end weakness and a little wobbly walking. And we started doing some acupuncture, which helped relieve his spinal arthritis and his weakness.
Wow.
And so, lucky me, Dr. Witrovsky kind of caught the bug of holistic medicine, how we can help animals, and she ended up learning how to do acupuncture and help Leland herself.
You now work here.
I now work here.
Because of him. Well,
Because of him.
you.
Well,
because
it
of
all
him.
started because of him.
And so you learned to do acupuncture because of Leland? In part?
Pretty much.
In part because of what you saw in terms of the results.
Yeah.
Leland, you said he had problems with mobility. What was going on?
Well, he was actually brought in at my previous place of work. He was actually brought in by the shelter. So no known history prior to that. He was on the street. They found him on the street. He came in very skinny, very weak, very wobbly. I did some x-rays, and he has pretty severe arthritis throughout most of his spine. And so I figured that's probably what's creating some inflammation in the spinal cord, causing a lot of weakness in the back end. In terms of treatment, there are pain meds, anti-inflammatories, which helped some, but once we started kind of doing our acupuncture, that's really when I started to see improvement in him.
And of course, you're plugged into his quality of life better than anybody.
I could see the improvement. Even as soon as we finished the acupuncture treatment, I could see him walk better. He doesn't care if he's in his bed. He's happy as a clam. He doesn't care if I poke him.
Speaking of, let's poke him.
With all these needles, I'm putting them in very strategic places. So a lot of them are going to be in areas where he's painful. So along his back, where a lot of his muscles are going to be very tense.
I'm sure that there are people who'd be watching this and going, oh, come on, that's gotta hurt. But I can tell because I know cats, and I'm sure you can tell because you know Leland, that clearly it doesn't.
Yeah,
you know?
sometimes you see a point where, he reacts and he might be a little more sore there than
he'll
others.
shake it a little or whatever,
But there's many points where
How is he now?
he's doing great. We're here almost a year later. His blood work is very stable. Mobility, very stable. So I'm like, oh yay!
That's amazing.
I thought maybe I had a couple months with him. He just keeps kicking, and I'm happy to have him as long as he wants.
Right, as long as he wants,
As long as he wants.
He's just like, I think I'll just take
Yeah. Oh yeah.
a
If he has his bed, and usually most patients, they just kind of zen out.
Totally.
Yeah, it's great.
So great. And it's also really good, I think, for us to have the ability to show people that cats actually can sit through this.
Oh yeah.
They really do benefit from acupuncture.
All right, well, it's time for me to go and deal with my own acupuncture scene with Mooshka. Thank you so much for sharing Leland with me. And
Absolutely.
wonderful to meet you, Kelly.
You too.
Bye, Leland. Have fun being mellow. I know this looks awfully high tech right here, but Mooshi's wearing her goggles and ready to go. This is Sheldon here, and Sheldon is going to be doing cold laser treatment. And I'm going to put my goggles on myself. Sheldon, why don't you explain what you're doing?
So I'm doing the cold laser therapy. She gets her cold laser on her T11 her thoracic through lumbar spine. So we're gonna go down her paraspinal muscles. We do 2 points on each side, and we go down about an index card length each point.
And just personally, what have you seen with the animals that you've worked with?
Some animals actually, you can tell immediately after, they're a lot more comfortable. You can see that they're moving a little bit more fluid, a little bit more comfortable.
And here we go.
And here we go.
If I were to be like massaging or touching like the area you're in right now, she'd get squirmy. You just tell she just doesn't dig it. Or if I was doing that right now, what she would do is she'd flop over on her side and give me her belly.
Yeah.
And in a way, that's kind of an avoidance thing, you know? You can tell that she's kind of digging this. I can't deal with these goggles, man. They're the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm sure she's saying the same thing about me.
Yeah.
She's like, Dad, your goggles are just killer. I can see her interior monologue right now. After a long day of hydrotherapy, I like to kick back with my goggles on and have a cool laser experience.
Have you noticed that she's more comfortable at home since starting?
Since starting all of this?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, and it was really actually, to me, one of the great things was talking to Yvonne before and having Yvonne say that she notices her being more mobile and less painful. That's a good feeling. I mean, that's a really good feeling. What chill dog, man. She's actually making me sleepy. See you later, Mooshie.
We have Mooshka now ready for her acupuncture treatment. She's had her hydrotherapy, and you're a good cheerleader for her.
I try.
And had
I
her
try.
cold laser, so now she's all set to get her needles. So the first, we're going to put in our calming point right here. So that went in there pretty
Yay.
good. Anytime you have a back a knee problem or a hip problem, a lot of times you'll see that the back will suffer kind of secondary to compensate for the weakness.
Right.
So these points along her spine follow what the acupuncturists call a meridian. So the meridian follows kind of where all the spinal nerves are coming out. And when you put the needle in, it's like a microscopic stimulation of the pain pathway. And what that does is it releases all sorts of mediators for your body's natural way to contend with pain. So there are people that are in shock, they don't feel any pain. This is just like a very thin filament. It's a very, it's a microscopic trauma that, like, if you had major trauma, your body would release major endorphins to release that pain.
Oh, I
So
see.
this-
I
yeah.
never thought about that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a way that the body's own healing capacity is kind of kicked into gear. It's kind
So
of like
basically
saying this
the
is
whole-
where, yeah, you think about it. I mean, if you have an injury, your body goes about healing it right
Yeah.
away.
So in terms of our ongoing plan with her, just stick to what we're doing?
Basically, yeah, we may adjust her pain management along the way. She's definitely benefited from her physical therapy and the acupuncture for her pain management. Keeping her strong and fit, it just makes such a big difference. And I think she's doing quite well.
You're doing quite well. Mooshka.
Yeah.
Mooshka, pay attention to me now.
Yeah,
Before it was just like, oh daddy, oh daddy.
totally zenned out.
I know. Good girl. Thank you again so much.
Sure.
I mean, honestly, I really feel better knowing that we're doing everything for my baby that we can do.
Yeah,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
Oh,
It's a pleasure. As always, as always.
right.
All right, say
We'll see you
goodbye.
next time.
All right,
All right,
we'll be
take
back.
care.
Bye.
Bye now.
Meow.